Okay, say that again.
Okay, so the foundation or the conditioning, this family line of issues with money,
Yes.
he may be in a place where good things are happening. This one is saying that there's transformation is taking place. Good things are on the horizon. But will it be such a change that you be able to accept it and assimilate it into your life? Or will it be so
new and different
and
or
overwhelming?
Or it doesn't go with the family rules, the old rules from the past. He may be by himself and they doesn't apply, but if you hear that, oh, if you have any money you should be donating it, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that.
We shouldn't be hanging on to it and living abundantly.
So there's a certain kind of way that rules are that some, it says that you have to do. So is there anything that says this is what you're supposed to do with your money? So is anybody dictating? That's the part I want to look at.
Okay, so if Desalyn could type into.
Okay, then Scott, what did you get?
The dry desert. Dig deep for inspiration and truth. Now is the time to become resilient and adaptable. Or resilient, I guess?
Resilient.
Resilient. You learn how to read, I guess. Okay.
Thanks, just been teaching me.
Is your life presenting you with opportunities that seem to yield nothing? Have your ideas dried up? Does it feel like you're on an endless journey through a dry, hot, lifeless desert? This card reminds you that there are times when you're meant to become resilient as you journey through the harsher circumstances. You're being required to conserve your energy until, after consistent effort, you reach the oasis you're searching for. Consider the creatures that live in these conditions. They have adapted to thrive in spite of the outer environment. In a desert, water, essential for life, can be found deep underground. Go deep within yourself now. Find your truth there. Let spirit sustain you while you locate the real source. Whatever it is you're asking about will not be found in the conditions you're in until you move past the surface of things and choose to do the real work and discover the answers deep within you. This may not seem like the most productive time, but looks are deceiving. This is a most important place to find what's truly right for you.
So as far as will your finances get any better? No. But sometimes it depends on how you're motivated. So if somebody tells you no, that really means, oh, now I can. So I'm asking asking your projection. So will the finances get any better? No, and the reason why that would stop it would be that did people in the past, your mother, anybody think that arrogant people are the only ones that have money, or if you have money, it's going to turn you into an arrogant person? So it's like it all depends. It all depends on how you want to have a relationship with the money. You have to understand, do you have conditions and rules that says I can't have you because of this, or I can only have you if you show up this way. So that's about the money thing. If you were going to heal anything about the money, you have to first discover what some of these phrases are that are negative. And T. Harv Eker was talking about, you may want to get these books, Millionaire Mind. He talked about the money blueprint, and it was very intriguing how he said his dad was a construction worker, and so all the money would go to buildings, so they would be poor. And then when the houses started to sell, the money would come in. So they would have, be a millionaire, and then they would have nothing. Being a millionaire and have nothing. And his life, he became a millionaire at a very young age and lost it. He goes, what? So then he became a millionaire again, and I can't remember if he lost it the second time or not, but then he's like, oh my gosh, so he had to look at why was this pattern happening to him. And it was just simply of what he knew. This is how you have a relationship with money. This is how you're supposed to do it. So he ended up taking and changing and healing his pattern so that he didn't have to go into that path. Now, relationship-wise.
So he does say that, yes, his family doesn't have that much.
Okay. And so if you feel like if you outdid it, then you may dishonor them by superseding, which if you would think about it in the male and female relationship, this can also happen with kids and parents. If I were to become a millionaire and my husband wasn't, would he go through the phase of what group consciousness says that, oh, you didn't provide for her, and all of that condemnation, and I don't want to take away his manhood, as far as that goes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right, yes.
Okay, well that also can happen in family dynamics, where the children become prosperous and the parents don't. And the parents are show off or whatever, and some parents are grateful that the kid outgrew the circumstances they were in. And it also applies even to teachers and students. Some teachers do not want their students to be any smarter. But then there are some teachers that want the children to be smarter than what they are. I got the same philosophy. If I'm helping people, I hope you succeed, so then you can show me how to do it differently than what I knew, so then I can apply it and supersede forward, and we keep pulling each other forward to where we want to go. So now, as far as relationship goes, you're supposed to have that deck. Okay, having a relationship. Now, the question is are you in one? Is there a potential of people? These are the questions I'd be wanting to look at. So I'm just going to simply state that Scott pulls the first card and it says, the first relationship that has to be taken care of is finances and career.
Oh my gosh.
Then before you act, okay, so now
So it says financial issues are a factor in your love life right now.
so that it does
Another one
interfere.
you say?
You had a friend that you felt that you needed to have a good job before you could date.
Right.
Explain.
Well, that's just the way things were. If you didn't have money to spend on anybody, then how can you?
Go out.
Yeah.
And then you had some friends that were going to have relationships and not have money.
Right.
And you had to end up telling a couple of your friends, really, if you really want to be with somebody, you kind of need to feel stable within that financial part before you actually can feel like you can provide it. Because in a way, it's still that man's priority, or the way the rule is that the group consciousness says that a man's supposed to show up. And in a way, it makes you feel good that you can pay for what, you want to buy him a little trinket. When we were at our desperate time with money, you couldn't even buy anything, a little thing for yourself, and you couldn't even buy little trinkets for, me or the kids, and that bothered you.
Right.
It did. Okay. So, right now, if you take care of this...
So, he's got 2 children with someone, but nobody specific for
love.
relationship.
Okay. And again, it's the financial issue that seems to be. Now, let's pull another card, whatever it has to do with relationships. And we're going to find out, projecting besides the finances, is there anything else that we need to know about?
Reverse.
Okay. So, Jen, you can go first.
Okay, so I got the, first was perfect timing and then spiritual teacher. So, the thing about timing, guys, the first thing that I would do is actually, I shared with him the healing tools and meridian tapping, and I feel like some of this negative stuff really is just, it's hindering the possibility, because there could be somebody right in front of you and you wouldn't be able to see that person.
No, you wouldn't.
Because of what's going on. So the perfect timing, and so a person, it looks like a person or a soul is a spiritual teacher, and we are spiritual teachers in our relationships.
Right.
Romantic or otherwise. So it looks like there is somebody who will come in with the timing to be a spiritual teacher as far as this relationship issue goes.
And this one came up upside down, and it says let go of control issues, but it came upside down, which is usually you say you let it unfold naturally. But I think what you need to do is not that you're going to let it unfold naturally. You're going to take an active part on a physical choice of healing out and using these healing tools so that you
Can improve the situation.
improve the situation. And until then, they're saying, I got number 6, the mountain. It says, there is an obstacle in your inquiry. This is not the time to move forward. Wait a while, be patient, and a way around the mountain will be revealed. Push forward. Pushing forward isn't your highest good. Don't try to climb too high and grasp the prize that seems out of reach, because it is for now. If you exceed your limits, you'll find yourself tumbling down, and you'll get hurt. Remain open to new possibilities rather than stubbornly forging ahead. And so what I'm getting from all of this when it comes to relationships, they're telling you it's important that you work on your finances, because if you understand, if you put everything on a wheel of life, and you have finances and career and relationships, and all of a sudden you have health and what other topics are there? But let's say there's like 8 other
Life
topics.
Purpose,
Life
spirituality, home life.
Yes, and
All
so
these, all these aspects.
if you don't know how to divide it up among all the wheel, okay, then where it can be balanced, if you're sitting there focusing on career, you may not, your finances and your relationships and health may not get the same amount of attention, and it doesn't mean it's going to deteriorate, it just means it's not going to be able to grow. So if you take your mind off on finances and put it on relationships, or off in career and put it on relationships, then you may all of a sudden, one will suffer versus the other. Am I making sense?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's that balance, it's that equilibrium. Yeah, if your focus is on one too much, you just get lopsided, and then it's about bringing it into balance.
And so right now they're
Like
saying,
on a scale.
if you allow yourself to just learn to just, it's and all I can think of is the movie, sorry, I'm a female, so I watched Bridesmaids, but what that comes to mind was that she wanted this, she wanted that, and everything just wasn't going right, and all she knew is that she complained, and she could see the pain. And so then finally, when she took her mind off on what was as far as a negative and said, you know what, I'm going to go study this, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that. And when she did this, one of the major things that occurred was everything else started to unfold. If you're focusing on what you don't have, then that's what you're going to get more of. But if you can take your focus off, which is what they call a pass switch, is to take your mind off that and start focusing on something else, then the universe will sit there and rearrange all of that for you, and when it's ready, they tap you on the shoulder and say, turn around. And then you can start adding certain things in your life.
And then he asked, do you see the career he's pursuing with a friend opening up?
Career with a friend opening up. There is a yes and no, because you have I'm going to say trust issues, but that's what you just pulled up, so.
Yeah. So the question is, are there trust issues? And then if there are, then that would be something to use a healing tool. Because the healing tools help resolve these situations.
Yes. So as far as, I'm just asking if there's anything specific thing, if there's a common factor in having relationships to go in business or in relationships of a love life. And the common factor seems to be there's an awkward state from you, from them. So it's really his RTJP is kicking in, the right temporal junction parietal lobe, and you think what other people think, which interferes with what they're actually thinking. So you then cause yourself to want to, second guess, which way is the right way, which way is the wrong way. So there's a lot of time contemplating instead of just taking action and doing certain things. And so the main thing that I'd say that you'd want to heal would be you can't dream. They're really pointing out that you can't dream unless somebody is involved. It goes right back to that. And I'm not talking about putting your head down on the pillow and sleep. I'm talking about what would you like to be when you grow up? What would you like to do? What is your dream?
And what are the talents, what are the abilities, what are the gifts that you have that you'd like to develop, what is that potential, what would you like to tap into to create a life for yourself? And then is there that person saying either somebody has to be part of that you can't do it by yourself?
All right.
And that may be part of it.
Right. So one thing I noticed is that, like for me, what I'm doing is that I'm a medium, I'm a healer first, but I also am a medicine woman, and I said, okay, I wanted to, going back to when did the kids start going to school? Oh, around 2003 was when I was told to start a business. So just before that I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my kids are going to go to school full time, I'm going to need a job, because I got to bring in money. And there's a part of me that says, oh, there is no way I'm going back to accounting, I'm not going to do Walmart, I'm not going to do any of these. I don't want to do that. And so my dream then was, do what you love. Well, you can't make money. I don't see anybody making money doing healing and anything like that, because I hadn't brought that into my reality. And then they're saying, yeah, you can. And then I thought, I'm not gifted enough. Yeah, you are. And so finally, I just listened to the universe and said, what do I do? So I turned this into a business. Now, I want to take this more worldwide. They said, okay,